Hello.
What's up?
What's the rush?
I'm just trying to get to work. I have a personal training class this morning.
So,
10 minutes.
you're doing 96.
I was not aware I was doing 96. I had the cruise control set at 85.
I mean, okay, even let's give you the difference. Say you were doing 85. That's still 35 miles an hour with the speed limit.
I understand that.
But like I said, I got you on radar doing 96.
Okay, what?
So,
When did you clock it?
right as you're coming over the crest of the hill. Okay.
Behind that truck for a while, and then you...
Truck was doing 74.
Okay.
You were doing 96. I need your driver's license, registration, proof, insurance.
I don't have my physical driver's license. It's in the mail on the way to me. I have a passport.
Okay, you can't drive a car then until you have your license on you.
Okay. Well, if you want to give me a ticket for that too, go right ahead, sir. But I'm just a girl trying to get to...
Oh, you say that, but you're putting everybody else in danger, so I don't think the attitude's going to help your situation, okay?
The last time I was pulled over by a cop, they pulled over 2 people at one time in the middle of the road, so I'm sorry. And he came up to the car and put his hand on his gun, so I'm sorry if I seem a little out of sorts right now.
I got you. I'm not them. Obviously, I'm not done any of that stuff.
Yes.
Do you have your registration paperwork? All right, hang tight, back with you in a few. Taking some sound and tag when you're ready. All right, ma'am, I need you to hop out of the vehicle and come around to the back of your trunk with me.
What?
I need you to step out of the vehicle and come around back to your trunk with me.
Why?
Because we're going to take care of paperwork back here.
What paperwork?
The paperwork I'm about to provide you back here.
Okay, why?
Because I'm giving you an order to.
I see. I just didn't know. Like, I don't know where. You need to get out of the car. Why do I need to get out of the car?
Because I have paper to take care of, and for my safety and for convenience, it's taken care of back here. Hey, Shade, can you pull up here with me?
Can I get out as well, sir?
No, ma'am.
I just want to stand with
Okay, I'm not going to have a bunch of people on the side of the Gandy Boulevard. It's a safety issue, okay? This isn't that big of a deal.
Sorry. If you're telling me this is not that big of a deal, and you basically see me that I'm like...
It's not that big of a deal, but you are making it a big deal, yes. I'm asking her to simply do something that I ask people to do every day. And I told you it's because it's for my safety. This is where I conduct this type of paperwork at, is at the back of your vehicle.
I've never been asking it outside of my car before.
Well, today you are.
Sorry.
So at this point, you need to step out of the vehicle because I'm giving you an order to do so.
Excuse me.
Right around back here, please. Want to turn and face me so I can explain some things to you? Fantastic. Your driver's license is suspended.
It's not.
You failed to pay a traffic citation at Pasco, and they suspended it on the 19th.
6 months to pay that ticket.
Your driver's license is actively
The
suspended.
person told me that I had 6 months to pay that ticket. I actually reinstated my license a few months ago. Got that handled. And now you're telling me that my license is suspended. I haven't received notification of this. And I know this isn't your fault, sir, but I have been going through a lot lately.
So I understand all that, but here are the simple facts today, okay? You don't have a license on you. In the system, which is real time, it is showing as suspended, and that's what I have to go by. If there's a clerk or something like that, that is something that you're simply going to have to take care of at a later date in court.
So what happens now?
So I'm about to issue some notices to appear for court in lieu of making a physical arrest and taking you to jail, because I don't want to do that. All right? But you can't drive this car. If she has a valid license, she's the one taking it. Perfect. She'll take over for you. But you're going to have a court date that you're going to have to appear for, okay? The court date is going to get mailed to you. You're going to have a court date for driving with suspension and for your speed for doing 96 and a 50. If you don't hear anything from the court in the next 30 days, the recommendation I tell everyone is make sure you call the Pinellas County Clerk of Court, because if you miss this court date for any reason, they will issue a warrant for your arrest. Okay? I'm going to need a couple of things from you. First is going to be a signature at the bottom of both these citations next to the blue X. It's not admission to guilt. Simply saying you're aware you're going to receive a court date in the mail and you promise to appear for it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and crumple these up. I'm going to go print out a new copy. If you don't appropriately sign the citations, ma'am, I will be forced to make a physical arrest, okay? So I'm going to give you one more opportunity to comply.
You physically saw me sign those, correct? And that counts
that
as a
wasn't-
signature, correct?
No, that's not a
All
signature,
right.
right?
Anything
What do-
from pen to paper, you physically see me sign, that is my signature. It does not have to be legible.
Okay.
You have nothing else to say. It's not a signature, says who?
Okay. He's trying to work with you. I don't know why you're not working. Why are you interrupting?
Right now, and you
Okay.
made me get out of the car.
Okay.
You could have handed them to me, and
All
I
right.
could have signed them in the safety of my car.
You want me to say something and then you interrupt me, so I'm not going to say anything.
You don't even allow my wife to get out with me. You're like, are you kidding me?
All right, ma'am. So again, your signature is as it appears on your driver's license. This is not admission to guilt. This is simply an acknowledgement that you're aware you're going to receive a court date in the mail. So simply just need your compliance.
Do you want to see my actual signature?
All right, go ahead and turn around, place your hands behind your back for me.
I'm not.
Stay there. Stay there.
Stop.
Stay there.
Stop. Stop. Tango 16, I'm 1015, gotta get a cage cruiser.
I'll talk to you in a second. Tell him to step it up.
Yeah, 10-4, I need a cage cruiser if they can expedite. I won't be uncooperative.
Please, please, please. Baby. I'm trying to sign a paper.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
It was a simple thing you had to do.
I did it.
Ma'am, please do me a favor, have a seat in the vehicle. I just don't want you to get hit.
Do what you got to do. Start your paperwork.
I got the paperwork done. She just refused to sign it.
Do you see it? There's a signature on that paper, sir.
Not your signature.
Stop. Hold on.
I'm diagnosed with anxiety. Can you please go look at the piece of paper? I signed it. Please, they're making a big deal out of this. Please. Please.
Do you have your driver's license on you?
I'm sorry, this is our dad. Hold on, Dad, I gotta talk. Hold on, I have to talk to the police officer. Give me just a second.
Start walking it back.
No, please.
I signed the paper.
Come on.
Please, can I have my life?
She can't take that. Okay. Think the units. She's got a chain and a couple bracelets on.
So here's the deal. Here's what happened, okay? She has a suspended driver's license, and she's doing a speed of more than 30 miles an hour of the speed limit. In the state of Florida, one of those, the suspended driver's license, is an arrestable offense. The other one is a mandatory appearance in court.
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Get in the car.
We often discuss the escalation ladder in these videos, how a simple traffic stop climbs rung by rung until someone is in handcuffs. Usually that ladder is climbed with shouting, threats, or physical violence. But today, we are analyzing a much quieter, stranger, and ultimately just as destructive form of noncompliance: passive-aggressive defiance. We are going to watch a driver who isn't screaming about rights or fighting the police physically. Instead, she attempts to fight the system with a pen, believing that a scribble on a piece of paper is a valid form of protest. By the end of this video, she will learn a hard lesson about the difference between a signature and a smudge, and how a moment of petty rebellion can turn a mandatory court date into a weekend in jail. The incident begins on August 24th, 2024 on the Gandy Boulevard in Florida. An officer clocks a vehicle doing 96 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. Let's pause right there. Driving 41 miles per hour over the speed limit is not a minor infraction. In many jurisdictions, that is reckless driving per se. It is an arrestable offense on its own. The driver's initial excuse, "I was just trying to get to work," is the first sign of what psychologists call minimization. She admits to speeding, but tries to reframe the context to make it seem reasonable. She even claims she had cruise control set at 85 miles per hour, as if admitting to speeding by only 30 miles per hour is a valid defense. It's a bold strategy that reveals a lack of situational awareness regarding the severity of her actions. When the officer asks for her license, she drops the first major red flag. "I don't have my physical driver's license. I have a passport." This immediately triggers a secondary investigation. In most states, you are required to have your license in your possession while operating a motor vehicle. But the passport is a valid ID, so the officer runs her name. And here is where the snowball effect begins. Her license is suspended for failure to pay a traffic citation. So, let's look at the legal scorecard before she even steps out of the car. Unlawful speed, 96 and a 55, mandatory court appearance. Driving while license suspended or revoked, DWLSR. This is a criminal traffic violation, not just a civil infraction. At this point, the officer has absolute discretion. He could arrest her right now, impound the car, and take her to jail based solely on the suspended license and the egregious speed. But he chooses the path of least resistance. He decides to issue her a Notice to Appear, NTA. This is a critical legal concept. An NTA is essentially an arrest on paper. The officer is saying, "I am technically arresting you, but I am releasing you on your own recognizance, ROR, right here on the side of the road, provided you promise to show up to court." This is a gift. It is the legal equivalent of a get-out-of-jail-free card. All she has to do is accept it. But before we get to the paperwork, we have to analyze the officer's decision to remove her from the vehicle. He orders her to the back of the car. She argues, asking why repeatedly. This is a common friction point. Drivers often believe they have a right to stay in their car. Under the Supreme Court ruling Pennsylvania v. Mims, 1977, they do not. An officer has carte blanche authority to order a driver out of a vehicle for safety reasons during a lawful stop. Her refusal to understand this, and her insistence that it's not that big of a deal, shows a profound entitlement. She believes her comfort overrides the officer's safety protocols. Once she is at the back of the car, the officer explains the situation clearly. He tells her about the suspension, he tells her about the speed, he explains the NTA process. "It is not an admission of guilt," he says. This is a standard police phrase for a reason. Signing a ticket is not a confession, it is a contract. It is a promise to appear before a judge. And this is where the psychology of the suspect takes a sharp turn into self-sabotage. She takes the pen, she takes the paper, and instead of signing her name, she scribbles. When the officer challenges her, she says, "You physically saw me sign those, correct? Anything from pen to paper is my signature." This is a fascinating distortion of reality. Legally, a signature is a mark made with the intent to authenticate a document. While an X can legally be a signature if that is how a person customarily signs, a scribble made in anger, designed to look like garbage, is an act of contempt. It is a visual representation of her disrespect for the process. Why does she do this? Psychologically, this is an attempt to regain control. She has lost control of her speed, her license, and her morning. She feels powerless. By defacing the citation, she is engaging in a micro-rebellion. She thinks, "I can't stop you from ticketing me, but I can ruin your paperwork." It gives her a fleeting sense of agency. But legally, it is a catastrophe. By refusing to sign the citation properly, she is rejecting the Notice to Appear. Remember, the NTA is a substitute for physical arrest. If you reject the substitute, you get the default, physical arrest. The officer, showing remarkable patience, gives her a do-over. He crumples up the first ticket. He prints a new one. He explains the consequences explicitly. If you don't appropriately sign, I will be forced to make a physical arrest. This is the ultimatum phase. The officer has laid all the cards on the table. Sign the paper, go home as a passenger. Scribble again, go to jail. Most rational people, even angry ones, would do the math and sign. She chooses the scribble. Why? Because her ego is now driving the car. She is committed to the bit. To sign properly now would be to submit to the officer's authority, and her pride won't allow that. She is trapped in a sunk cost fallacy of defiance. She has already acted out, so she feels she must double down to save face, even if saving face means losing her freedom. The moment the handcuffs come out, the passive part of her aggression vanishes, and panic sets in. "Please stop, I signed it. Please, baby," she yells to her wife. This sudden shift from arrogance to begging is typical. It's the reality shock. Until the metal touches her wrists, the interaction felt theoretical to her. She thought she was just arguing semantics about what constitutes a signature. She didn't believe the officer would actually follow through on his threat. This reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of law enforcement dynamics. Police officers operate on a binary system, compliance or enforcement. There is no middle ground for argumentative scribbling. When she failed to comply with the legal requirement of the citation, the officer's discretion evaporated. He had to arrest her because he couldn't release her without a valid promise to appear. Let's talk about the wife's role here. The passenger, presumably her wife, is watching this unfold from the car. She tries to intervene, asking to get out. The officer keeps her in the car for safety. When the arrest happens, the wife is naturally distressed. But notice the driver's reaction. She is screaming for her wife to save her. "Tell him to step it up," she yells, referring to, well, it's unclear who, but she is looking for an external savior. Just like Evaristo in our previous breakdown, she cannot accept that she is the sole author of this disaster. She wants her wife to fix it. She wants the officer to look at the paper again. She refuses to accept agency. There is a tragic irony in her statement. "All I wanted to do was go work out this morning." This sentence encapsulates the entire main character syndrome at play here. She views the traffic stop not as a legal intervention for public safety, but as an annoying interruption to her gym schedule. She drove 96 miles per hour because her time was more important than the safety of others. She refused to sign properly because her anger was more important than the legal process. She ended up in jail because she couldn't subordinate her ego to the reality of the situation. We must also scrutinize the officer's tactical patience. He gave her 2 chances. He explained the law. He explained the consequences. He warned her. He did everything short of guiding her hand with the pen. This is crucial for the legal strength of the arrest. If he had arrested her immediately after the first scribble, a defense attorney might argue she was confused or that it was a hasty decision. By printing a second ticket and giving a clear warning, the officer established mens rea, criminal intent. She didn't scribble by accident. She did it knowingly and willfully after being warned of the specific consequence, jail. This makes the refusal to sign charge, or the underlying arrest for the suspended license, bulletproof in court. Finally, let's look at the aftermath. The officer explains to the wife what happened. She scribbled all over the citations. I cannot release her on a citation. This is the administrative necessity of the arrest. The system requires a guarantee that the defendant will face justice. That guarantee is usually a signature. Without it, the guarantee becomes the defendant's body in a cell. The wife asks, "Is she going to be held?" The officer reassures her it will be a walk-through. This shows that the officer isn't being punitive. He isn't trying to ruin her life. He is just following the flow chart of the law. He effectively says, I tried to let her go, but she wouldn't let me. This video serves as a profound lesson in pick your battles. The side of the road is not the place to make a stand against the judicial system. It is not the place to debate the semantics of what constitutes a signature. And it is certainly not the place to let your ego make legal decisions for you. This driver had a winning lottery ticket in her hand. A ticket home despite driving 96 miles per hour with a suspended license. All she had to do was write her name. Instead, she tore up the ticket because she didn't like the person handing it to her. She traded a signature for a mugshot. She traded a morning workout for a morning booking process, and she did it all because she couldn't bring herself to simply comply with a lawful order. In the end, the law is a rigid machine. It doesn't care if you're just a girl trying to get to work. It doesn't care if you're stressed. It requires specific inputs to function, like a valid license and a signature on a citation. If you refuse to provide those inputs, the machine defaults to its most basic setting, arrest. So, the next time you get a ticket, even if you think it's unfair, even if the cop is annoying, just sign the paper. Fight the ticket in court, not on the trunk of the police car. The pen is mightier than the sword, but only if you use it to write your name, not to scribble away your freedom. Stay safe, drive the speed limit, and remember, a signature is cheaper than bail money. I'll catch you in the next breakdown.